How much of a relief is it for you to score right away?
Yeah, it was good. Just closed my eyes and hopefully hit the net. And yeah, lucky it was close that I almost missed, but it was a good enough shot that it went in.
Suzuki back to Lane Hudson. Laine thought about the one-timer, rips and score! Welcome to the Bell Center, Patrik Laine!
What do you think of the reception you're getting from fans? They just seem to love you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like I don't deserve this, like not at all. But no, it'll be something for sure I'll remember forever. Like that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Just getting that welcome, even early on when I came here from the fans and from the city overall.
Et le numéro 92, number 92, Patrik Laine.
And now, obviously, coming back to playing, it was just pretty humbling. Like I said on the ice, and just grateful and just thankful to be here.
Not everyone can rip the puck like that. Patrik Laine gets his first as a Canadian.
Wow, so that was a hell of a game, wasn't it? Like you pretty much couldn't have asked for a better return to the game for Patrik Laine. I think this was a little strategic. He did say that he could have come back last week, but he didn't want to risk it. I'm glad he came back playing the Islanders. It wasn't a game with a lot of action. Excuse me. It wasn't a game with a lot of goals. There's plenty of action. The goaltenders were standing on their heads. I mean, Elias, like Sorokin, you can't feel bad about this one. Anyway, speaking of feeling bad, I thought I was going to have to buy a new camera. It's not even working the way that I thought it was, or the way that it typically works. You might notice that everything's kind of darker. I really hope I don't have to buy a new camera, but if I do, I'm hoping what I can do is save the money that I make from ad revenue from doing these videos, buy a new camera. That's why it's important to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and like the video if you're already subscribed. Helps me out with search results, ad revenue stuff, all gets folded in with that stuff. And we've been doing really good. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers. I feel like we need one big video to put us over the top, but I can't complain. You guys have been great. The support in the chat is phenomenal, especially over these past few days. I just love reading the comments that you guys have been leaving. Please keep up with that. So let's get into recapping this game. What happened in this game? What kind of game did we have? Well, we'll start from the start, the lineup. So where did Laine slot in? Well, it was Caulfield, Suzuki, and Newhook on the first line, Slav, Doc, and Laine on the second, Anderson, Dvorak, and Gallagher on the third, Heineman, Evans, and Armia on the fourth, and then the defensive pairings were Gooley, Matheson, Hudson, Struble, Ekai, and Savard. So a little bit of a mix-up there in the defensive category. And then guarding the net was Montembeault, and I'm glad that he was guarding the net. He had a phenomenal game. So my job recapping this is going to be pretty simple. The first period was very standard front-to-back hockey. There were 2 penalties in the first period. Siplikov took a penalty tripping against Lane Hudson. And later in the period, Struble took a 2-minute minor for interference against Wahlstrom. That was very late into the period. It would spill over into the second period. Both teams were getting opportunities. There was a lot of shots put towards the net. Sorokin and Montembeault were looking like geniuses. And Montreal's first power play, when Laine got out there and started putting shots towards the net, the crowd was going wild. But ultimately, they leave the first period tied at 0. Second period was different, and it was the period not like the others, because Fasching on the Islanders takes a 2-minute penalty at 6:49 in the second period, a high sticking call against Cole Caulfield. And the Habs go on the penalty, and then this happens.
Pulock, you cannot give Patrik Laine that much time and space. He's got way too good of a shot. He gets it on his stick, underhandles it, and then...
Far side, top corner. What a beautiful goal. He was critical about this goal. He thinks he can do better than this. I personally can't wait to see it. The rest of the period was pretty blue-collar hockey. There were parts of this period where the Canadiens' defense looked a little sluggish, and we'd also see that in the third period, but let's get to that, because the Canadiens kill a penalty, but not long after, Anders Lee gets his 11th goal of the season.
The corner. Look out in front, Lee, and again, that's hit ball through the...
Lee is having a good season so far. So that's going to do it for the second period. 1-1 after 2. Third period, you're seeing Montembeault have to stand on his head a little bit, coming up with big saves. I didn't like it, but the Canadiens were getting chances at the other end too. Xhekaj is forced to take a penalty against Brock Nelson. It's a tripping call. I think that this was a good idea by Xhekaj because personally, this could have led to a big opportunity. I don't know what you think, but they kill that penalty as well. On to the third period. The third period is much the same. The goaltenders are having to make some pretty big saves, opportunities on both sides, but you feel like both these teams are kind of playing cautiously. And I'll talk more about that when we get into overtime because third period solves nothing. We're on to overtime. There's little jabs back and forth. The Canadiens are actually looking really good in this overtime, but you can tell both these teams have been burned in overtime before. There's definitely precaution in their plays. But at 2 minutes and 39 seconds,
Mike Matheson drops, Suzuki walks it in, shoots, and that right pad, look out, score!
an incredible way to complete the game. I hope they feel good about this one because it was a hard-fought game. You felt both teams were kind of sparring the entire time, trying to find their opportunities. And I thought a lot of players looked great on the Canadiens. I thought a lot of players looked great on the Islanders. Some good, honest, solid hockey. Nothing too flashy, except for maybe the goaltending, but the Canadiens get it done. And what can you say about this game? It's kind of a weird one because I went into this game anticipating Laine to take a while, maybe several games, to find any sort of success. But on the second power play, where he's incorporated, it clicks. I want to be extremely positive and say, this is probably going to happen all the time, but I'm cautious. He even said himself between the second and third period that he's not really feeling his best. His legs are tired and he feels like he's going slow out there. So I guess we can just expect improvement over time. Not a bad thing to have to wait for, considering the very first game he started playing, he managed to get a goal. So it only goes up from here. 50 goal season incoming, I guess. No, like I say, there was a lot of opportunities this game and Sorokin was just playing beautifully. It took a real great shot to find the back of the net. I think Laine was being a little bit modest because that was tippity top corner. It really, I don't think it could have gotten any better. I thought that Doc played hard. I thought that Slav played hard. Xhekaj had some really good plays. He made some mistakes. Actually said earlier in the game that Suzuki wasn't having a very good game. His defensive play was a little off and he wasn't catching passes. I'm glad that in overtime, he was the hero that got them there. I don't give him credit enough, and I'll give him credit this time. Caulfield played well this game. Hudson, as usual, was moving around extremely fluidly. Matheson made a couple of really good defensive plays. What are your notes? What are your notes for the players? What was something that you didn't like seeing? I thought the Canadiens were going to go into overtime with a 4-minute double minor because Caden Gooley caught a stick in the face like he often does. You notice that Gooley gets hit in the face a lot? Poor kid. I can just imagine what he's going to look like at the end of his career. There's a bunch of scars all over his face. But I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and the intro to the video. I really tried to cut it cool so it was cinematic, and hopefully you enjoyed that. But I want to invite you to comment down below. I really have been really enjoying your comments. I hope that you've seen that I've been replying to pretty well everyone. We're getting, thousands and thousands of views each video though. So it's hard to reply to everyone because there's, hundreds and hundreds of comments. Still, please comment down below. If you're not subscribed already and you made it all the way to the end of the video, how come you're not subscribed? Subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of the community. We plan on doing big things as the channel grows. Maybe set up live streams, maybe set up a Discord channel where we could stay connected whenever. A few people have mentioned a Patreon. I don't know if I can do that. I'd have to ask somebody about it. Is anybody here subscribed to Hockey Junkies Patreon? What's that like? I should ask him how that's going and what it's like and how much work or effort you have to put into that. But hope you guys had a great night. Like the video, subscribe if you're not already a whiskey fiend, and as always, I'll see you down below in the comments.